Holiday weekend. Why not? Just got done watching Aries working on one of his amazing knives. Does incredible work. If you haven't checked him out, go to Aries EDC. And if you've got some money and you're looking for a cool custom knife made here by him, go check it out. He's got some really cool stuff. All right. What's everyone doing this morning? I have plans for later. I want to go live for a little bit. I said I was going to go live when I was live last night, so I got to kind of hold up to my promise. Promises. I got a couple things I've been trying to do on some lives the last few times, and I never got to it. We'll see if we can make it happen today. Get very distracted. There's always a squirrel somewhere. All right, let me turn that off. All right. We'll get some echo going on. Ghost Keeper. Can't wait to get off work today and get the Beyond. Working my ass off as always in the cold. I just went to Cub to get some groceries, and wow, it is chilly out here in Minnesota. It's like 12, 13 degrees right now. Just left Aries and fires up. Awesome. Yeah, Michael, I was going to come on, and then I went and looked online, and Aries was on, so I just started watching his, got myself a little breakfast, made some coffee, and I'm like, yeah, Aries is doing his thing. That's cool. And so then he said he was taking off, so I was like, let's go. I can jump on for a bit. It looks like KC might not go on like he usually does around 11, but he is doing his drop today. If anyone's looking to get a couple of knives, God, he's going to have a jet stream or two, and I don't think I've got the money to get one right now. Kenman can't stay long, headed to sales with wife, had to leave, yep. Thank you so much, Mike's. Got to go get some of those good deals if you can. I remember back in the day, people would be waking up real early in the morning and going and waiting in line to go get like a TV deal at Best Buy or something like that. I don't know how much people do that anymore with like Amazon and online type of things. I'm not big on crowds and having to wait and do all that. Going to be a long winter in auto sales. Ghost Keeper selling cars. The tenable Fenrir will be nice. I do have the tenable Anomaly, and the sound and the action for this budget knife is great. So that shows that tenable is doing some good things. And the Fenrir, I mean, I have the concept. This is the premium one, but the Fenrir is such a sweet knife. So the button lock version of this will be coming out from tenable pretty soon. Not sure actually when that's happening. They've been talking about it for a while. Ghost Keeper, do you know the date for that one? Gabriel World and Friends, subscribed. Thank you, bud. A lot of knife talk around here, a lot of custom stuff. What's up, Dan Stan, Neil McKenzie, this guy again. Greg, the Vander Flip. What's happening, Greg? For sure. Yeah, I've got a few things to do. Some buddies are going disc golfing at noon, and when you look outside, it actually looks nice out. But it's like 13 degrees. I went out and ran to the grocery store real quick. Got a couple donuts, I ran out of Red Bulls. I had some coffee, but I needed a donut in my life. And so I ran there, and man, it's like, I don't know if I want to go meet up with anybody and be outside for a couple hours. I mean, you put gloves on, you put hand warmers on, you end up getting warm, and you end up taking your gloves off. There's winter leagues that I play that definitely happens where it is cold out, but after a while you're moving around and doing stuff. The next thing you know, your hands, you don't have your gloves on, you don't have your hat on. But today is chilly. When it's 12 degrees, it's hard to stay. Give a shout out to Mike Oxlaw. What's up, Mikey? Brown Sugar 69. Akasharity, what's up? Mr. the Kid. I don't have any homemades This one was made by the sheriff himself in the Minnesota area. 154. It's got 154 cm steel. Yeah, that 154, it cuts real nice, feels great in the hand. Excellent little user out on the table. It's a Vander slip flip. Hey man, got a good construction knife. What do you mean by construction? Are you cutting like sheetrock, or are you cutting wires? Because if you're cutting wires, we've been talking about this, and if you're using a knife to cut like wires, strip wires, things like that, where it gets dull really fast, I'm going to say this bad boy right here, the replaceable razor blade on the Riot. Then you can get in there and cut all those wires all you want, and when that little blade starts going bad, you just pop that one off, put a new one on. Drywall and leg straps predominantly. So is it something that the knife gets dull really fast? Because if it gets dull really fast, I would recommend something like this. These are not really my style. I generally prefer a blade with an actual knife on it. But they've been making a lot of these with the blades, where now this one's the Riot gravity knife. Super fun and fidgety. It does have a lock on there to keep it open. Do your work, unlock it, close it, relock it, and put it in your pocket. Aluminum handle with that diamond kind of frag pattern on there. And then you can just replace any standard size razor blade in there easily. You just squeeze, pop, take that one off, put the other one on. If you are not cutting anything that's going to really dull your knife a lot, then that leaves it kind of open. Do you prefer a fixed blade? Do you prefer a folding knife? Do you prefer a folding knife that should be a fixed blade because it's just so huge? I wouldn't recommend that for work. It's probably a little big. But I almost say, like, when I've got something like, I would like a drop bear, for example. This is a smaller, not huge knife. Opens up easy, closes easy, very reliable. You almost always know it's going to do what you need it to do. The blade point is right in the center. A lot of jimps on there for grip, so I can get in there and get a good poke cut, a draw cut, pulls, pushing through something. Closes easy, doesn't take up too much space, holds an edge really well. They have a lot of different versions. This one has 154 cm. Quality steel. So it depends. Drywall and straps, you know, it depends on how dull. You know, if you want something that's just going to stay sharp forever, you can get that new Spyderco. That's got the highest hard HRC rated blade steel, and that thing will stay sharp forever, practically. Cut glass with it if you want. And if you don't like them, then, you know, then you can go into the fancier version of the Riot, like this right there. Take that lock off, put yourself into a nice CPM, what is this one? 3V with that dual edge. Now that is what's up all day long. What's up, Kathleen? And if this one's a little small, just go ahead and get yourself the full size. Boom. Look at that. Dagger, double edge. You can pull, cut, push, cut. Pick your teeth with it. I don't know. Action is great on these Riots. They're spendy, but they're fun. These are all from Mikey Trails. He sent them to me. That's my unboxing today. Kind of started. Didn't really get a full overview of them because he sent me 5 knives. Another one I got is this Swags. I keep forgetting what it's called. Something Monster. What is it? Monster. Pocket Monster. The Rosecraft Pocket Monster. What an ugly, ugly knife. Opens nice. It's got a good large front flipper on there. And it's a smaller knife, but this choke up spot is so huge. You get in there, that just feels great. So if you need to cut boxes or something like that, cardboard, you get right into the spot that you need to do that work. It's a smaller blade, kind of a large belly on it, and just absolutely hideous. I love it. Mikey Trail sent this to me. I'm going to be doing a custom for him, and so he sent this as a little gift. And then the other ones he sent just for me to kind of review and check out. The only Rosecrafts I have are more slip joints like this. This is the Stinking Creek sow belly. I might have said that wrong. D2 steel, super slicey and thin. That stag on the handle. Walk and talk is crazy. Bow. Rosecraft does make some cool stuff. What was the name before that one? This one here? Each one, teach one? Are you talking about this one here? This is the Pocket Monster. Honestly, the bright colors are best solely when they get lost, right? You throw it, you lose it, drop it in the woods or something like that. If you got a fixed blade, and oh, we make these fixed blades and they're for outdoors and camping and stuff, but we made the handle camo. All right, you set it down and it's gone. So super bright, or I like a lot of outdoor knives. I like orange, you know, like a bright orange sticks out really well. Next. So after that one was this one. This is the Rosecraft Stinking Creek sow belly. Slip joint. Boom. And then before that, I had the Riot Exos gravity knives. So like this is the full size, and we have the mini, and then the one that holds the razor blade. Mark Miranda, Kershaw. I have a couple Kershaws. I have a few little Dinker Kershaws, a few good ones. I did buy this one. This is a little Kershaw Ember. It was this color when I got it. But I did a laser mark on that side with that paisley print. I do laser marking. I do anodizing on titanium, scale dyes, etching, all types of different things. I have the little Kershaw Cinder. This tiny little thing. I'm going to be doing a shipwreck project on that. It's this one's a brass handle. My real Kershaws, I do have the Iridium. This was at Blade Show or Blade Show of Blade of the Year or whatever a couple of years back. The Iridium's a nice fidgety crossbar lock. And the one I've used the most as far as my Kershaws is this Heist. Heist is a nice budget, I think that's D2 steel, same crossbar lock, good, I'm going to say good action on it, but apparently not. There's some good action. Not a huge Kershaw fan. What was this? Oh, I got this one too. This is like an assisted, boom. This was a cheapo budget a while back. I don't even remember what this one's called. If anybody does know, comment in the comments. Well, 94, we almost got 100 people in here already. All right, everybody's hanging out. Everybody got the day off today. If you're having a good time, pop that like button. Give me a little love. Do you have any case knives? Can you show me your biggest knife? Jake, I do have a case knife. This is the Sodbuster Junior. Very slicey, thin, nice, basic slip joint case. Don't have, that's my only case now. I need to get more. I need to add some more to the collection. Biggest knives is Fisher Kid. It depends on how you like, what's biggest? Widest, longest, biggest? I mean, I can say that the Max Ace Goliath could be the biggest just because look at how wide and long and thick that SLD Magic blade is. This thing is huge. If we're going by length, that's only about 10, but that blade is a beast. You know, we're talking 4.5, 5-inch blade that's very thick. So that is definitely up there in the size category. I can give you the Buck 119. That has a 6-inch blade on it. So that's probably one of the largest. Full 6-inch. Look at the thickness on that handle. Absolutely a beast. I've got a couple cheapos. This Tac Force toothpick might be the longest knife I've got. It's probably 13.5-inch with a, oh, it's got barely a 6-inch blade as well. So the blade on that's the same size as that Buck. This ugly thing, it's got some size to it for a folder. It's kind of a false folder. Look at that small handle, that huge blade. That blade's just about 6-inch. Oh, this one right here. The Concept Mini Corvid Cleaver. That one right there. That is an absolute hog. Right? I think the Corvid Cleaver is so cool though. It's just the tiniest little, excellent little knife. All right. Little morning magic for us, I guess. The buck knife is infamous from the Scream horror movies. Yes, it is, BT. It also is famous from the Friday the 13th Part 4. If you look at the cover of Friday the 13th Part 4, you'll see the mask and you'll see the knife in his eye like that, sitting in a pool of blood. So it's got some special places in my heart, you know. 167 people in here. How is everyone doing today? Are we having a good time? Do you like knives? Because I like knives. Do I have any carving knives? Carving like what? Like carving a turkey? Or like something like this? Whoops. Grab the knife, not the handle. This is a carving knife. This is actually a lefty Japanese carving knife, so you can use that and getting in and going like this. The righties would have the, because that's a, oh my brain, chisel grind. So it's only ground on one side, the other side's flat. So this would be used for like certain carving things. It's a fun one, right? It also goes in the mask in the Nintendo Friday game. Oh, the old Nintendo Friday game. That thing was great. Shout out the UK. What's up in the UK? How you guys doing today? Hot crowd tonight. What's up? What's everyone got going on for the weekend? It's been a holiday extravaganza. I spent time with family yesterday. The morning Red Bull. I got a coffee over there I should go grab too. Tonto knives. Dagger with the wood handle on the table. That's this one right here. This is the famous Kenman carnival knife. When I was a kid, it'll show you my age. When I was a kid, I was at a 4th of July carnival, and I took a dart at a game, and I threw a dart, and it hit a balloon, and it popped the balloon, and I won a prize. This was the prize. An actual knife, brass handles. It's got a walnut, really nice looking knot on that walnut handle. It's stainless Pakistan. It's old. It has of no value other than the sentimental to me. It was covered in rust. It was in one of my drawers for like 20 years, and I pulled it out, found it. The tip is all dented, and I need to fix it. But this had rust all over it. You can see one of the lives of like 4 or 5 days ago. We went in and we soaked it in vinegar for a little bit, and I used my Santoku stones. You can see all the rust on the end of there. And we cleaned these up, and now it's this great thing. Again, it doesn't have much value, but I love it. It's fantastic. Gonna have to sub just for the Red Bull sip. Legendary. What's up, Marky boy? Titanium Justin. I gotta get to it, man. He's my Cinder bro. This isn't the actual Cinder bro Cinder, but this is my second one. I got the brass one to do some shipwrecks. If you don't know what a shipwreck is, I got my QSP Penguin right here. That was brass, or it still is brass, but shipwrecking is like forcing a patina. So you clean it up real nice, put it in a container with salt and ammonia and some chemicals, and you let it react for at least like a day or 6 to 12 hours and get some really cool patterns and stuff out of it. Here's another little Rough Rider one I did. Little extra salt on there for some crazy blue. Super fun stuff. The Cinder is neat, isn't it? If you saw when Titanium Justin came up to town, boom. He and I went to Shields. and just did a little run around. It was fun. It was crazy. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But we both decided to buy a knife for each other while we were there, and we both bought each other the same knife, which is the same cinder, except for this one's got obviously the black handle, little G10. I put the Edyard on there. Just a tiny little simple blade. It's like 3CR13 or something for the blade steel. Nothing. Oh, we're at 190. Let's see if we get to 200 people. I don't know if I've ever had 211 at one time before. That'd be cool. And if we all hit that like button, you get a couple more likes in here, maybe we can have a big party. What's everybody want to see? I do some fade dies. Oh, wow. 130 down to 191 down to 130 in like 1 second. So this was a jade scale that I dyed. A nice little fade, yellow to orange, red. Pretty fun stuff. We don't do... Oops, hold on a second here. We do not do politics in here. I don't care what side you're on. We don't do it. We talk about knives and EDC gear. I just started carrying a pry bar. I am now a pry bar guy. 202 people in the chat. Who carries a pry bar? I never did. I've had several. Of course, I can't see any of them. Here's a pry bar that I have that I did a anodizing test. This is a titanium pry bar, so I did an ano test with all the colors. So basically, as you're anodizing it up the spectrum, you kind of slowly take it out so that you can see at each spectrum as it's going up. And then I use this as a test or as a guide so I can say, oh, I think this one would look cool in this kind of steel blue or maybe in the gold or the magenta or whatever. But that's what I kind of use as my, if I need to show someone the colors that you can achieve. Why carry a pry bar? Exactly, Chris. I'm doing a thing now. The reality is like young me had this knife here. I didn't have a pry bar, I had this knife. But you see that tip? See how it's bent and there's a nub on it? Because I use that to pry and poke into something that you shouldn't do with your knife. How often does this happen? Not often. So I'm doing a thing. I got this pry bar on a super good deal. They're going out of business, unfortunately. This is Arcform Alt Pry. You can go to Arcform right now, and they've got some super good deals because they are going out of business. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry it every day. I'm going to put it in this pocket here. I'm going to carry it. So you would use this. You could use this to open boxes, open packages. It's not sharp on that end, but it's sharp enough that you can use that to do that type of stuff. So if you went somewhere where you couldn't carry a knife, you could have this with you, and you could still open your stuff. Now, every once in a while, there's going to be something that's stuck that you need to get in there, pry it, bend it, twist it. You need a screwdriver. That could be a screwdriver as well. So it does have purpose. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to carry it every day. And I'm making a tally from when I started carrying it. We're going to see how many days it is before I actually use it. So I might use it next week. I don't know. I might not use it for months. Do you really need it in your pocket? Now, if I carry it for like 100 days and never use it, now has that become something that I'm just wasting my time carrying? Or is it one of those situations where I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I get lost and now it becomes something that saves my life because my arm's stuck in a rock? You see that movie? But I also bring different things with me if I were to go on a trip like that. If I'm camping, that's different than I'm just like getting in my car and driving to work and I'm in the metro area. I cut stuff at work all day though, so if I didn't have a knife, I could certainly take out this pry bar and then rip those boxes and cut those things open using that. So if you were in a location where you're not allowed to have a knife, then there you go. Pry bars are interesting. Here's another one right here. This one's got a little bottle opener on it. Not quite as sharp on the tip, but it's a thing. It is a thing. Some people are really into it. I got a couple more somewhere, but like I said, it's not really in my main thing, so I'm not, boom. How often do you go in the middle of nowhere? At least once or twice a year. I like to go camping, and we like to go up and go fishing and kind of get out away from the world a little bit. We have a Boundary Waters canoe area that's up in the northern Minnesota area that is just, a lot of the places are no motorized vehicles allowed, so it's canoes only. So you get in a canoe, you paddle across the lake, you get out, you carry your stuff a quarter of a mile to the next lake, and you kind of move through this lake system, and you just get in the middle of nowhere. The stars are beautiful. It's quiet. You can see wildlife, loons and moose and stuff like that. How was Thanksgiving, bro? Mine was great. Mine was great. I'll show some stuff while we talk about it. Went and saw family yesterday. Only had to travel about a half hour to go meet up with them. We had a nice little dinner, watched a little bit of Christmas Vacation, messed around. My nephews are really into sports, so we're, playing some hockey in the living room, bouncing a ball around, throwing stuff up on the things, playing some games like that. It was a great time. My short little fixed blade that you can open the lock. Look at that. That's a fairly long knife, I guess. That's probably the longest blade I have. Let's find out. 7.5 on this hog. It's kind of a cheapo. It's interesting though. You got the swing guard. So there's a lock right here. Boom, you pull that lock out. The blade is locked into position, but when you squeeze that loosens it up, and then you can swing down. The swing guard clicks in like that. It goes like this. The blade is still exposed, so now it's kind of like a fixed blade, smaller, shorter knife. So you could totally do work with it like this. I missed a question. What is a knife you would never part with? Ooh, that is something. I've got several. This is going to be one of them because this is one that I won as a child, and you can't get this knife. I mean, it is beat up to all be. It doesn't have a lot of value. It's not a user. It's just going to sit in my collection forever, but I could never get rid of this because I can remember when I was a kid and I won this at a carnival. You can't replace things like that. It would kind of be knives like that where you can't really buy them. Like a Devo Tall Boy, you can't go buy a Devo Tall Boy. They sold out in like 30 minutes. And so it kind of becomes more of a knife that you don't want to part with because you can't just buy another one. Thank you for subscribing. Oh, I got a bunch at once there. Lil Bonaz, Barry Morris, Geeks Are Us, Gallant Design, and Joey RS all subscribed at the same time. Welcome to the party. Having a nice little crowd in here this morning. Yeah, lots of knives. I've been most recently getting into acid etching. So I did a resist on here. Kind of looks like a great white shark now. I tried to do like a fake little false Simone line. Probably should be a little bit lower for that kind of effect to look. But I did a resist on this section and then just acid etched that top. So when it's closed, it looks cool because you only really see that acid etched color. Front flipper only on this Kaiser Aggressor. Also did the dye. This handle was the standard like Kaiser tan brown color. So I took it apart and did that dye while we also did the acid etch and gave it that cool maroon kind of shade. Do I have a fidget spinner knife? Can I show you a wicked knife? Edwards. I don't have a fidget spinner knife, but I got a wicked knife. This one's really crazy, right? I mean, 1 knife, 2 knife, and if that's not enough, 3 knife, 4. You could call that a spinner. Right? I love ridiculous crap. New to your channel and just sub. Peter Griffin. That's great. Welcome to the fun. I get a lot of weird stuff. So I like strange, crazy knives like this. I'm going to actually work on designing something right now. This isn't intended for this, but it's like a grappling hook. So I want to make like an attachment that slides into here, kind of locks the blades into place. Why? Why not? Why not? I mean, it's just like when you see this. When I see this and I'm like, okay, that's a win. That's a win. Absolutely ridiculous. I see button locks as fidget knives. They are, some of the most fidgety stuff would be like the gravity knives. Got that lock on there, unlock it. Boom. Tell me that's not fidgety. Right? But as he said, button locks are super fidgety. Flick out, drop, swing. Just have some fun with it. Crossbar lock, kind of the same. You can grab that crossbar and just swing it open and close. Flick it out. Becomes a really nice pocket jewelry kind of a thing. Frag Titanium 154 CM. This is my favorite knife right here. This is the Mini Towser K White Mountain Knives exclusive Kaiser. Favorite OTFs would have to be this one because I don't really have very many OTFs. Urban Jedi, but right here, this is the USB stick from Boker with a little magic surprise. It does not have a USB, but it does have that. OTFs really aren't my thing. I mean, you could say that these gravity knives, oops, would be like an OTF because it does come out the front, but it's all from the gravity. Super fun though. Thank you for subscribing, Jaeger Boy and Caden. Do I have a lighter knife? What's up, Picky Wiki? Isaac? I don't have a lighter knife. Do they make lighter knives? I have this one. Right? It's got a great grip on it right there. Get right in there. Do your work. It's got some of the stupidest stuff, I tell you. Where do these things... A buddy of mine gave me that. Another friend gave me this one. Pretty much ridiculous. But there's a place for all knives in my world. If you want a knife that looks like a bomb, why wouldn't you? Donovan 2, new sub here. Awesome channel. Thanks, bud. We're just hanging out today. I post videos every day. I do unboxings. I do a lot of custom stuff. If you want to learn how to do customizations, like Shipwreck on this Osborne here. Shipwreck is where you take copper or brass and you chemically alter it, forcing a patina, giving it, the salt kind of gives it those blues. But I do that. I do dyes. I do laser marking. Where's that other laser mark knife that I didn't just do. This is the CJRB Agave. Boom. The handle on this was silver. And I dialed in an aluminum setting for my laser that is white. And so the white is actually the laser mark. That's an agave plant on an agave knife. So if you look at the shiny silver tips, that's what color this the scales actually were. All the white section is the laser mark that I did. Agave on an agave. What do we think? Fun little custom. A lot of people send me knives. I do custom stuff to them, send it back. I do a lot of customs just on my own, and then people buy those from me, or we do trades. Let's see. I've got like my Civivi X1. I jokered out. Got that crazy purple green Joker style. The Civivi X1 is a fairly newer one from Civivi. It's a fun, nice looking knife. So if you are interested in some customization stuff like that, you are in the right place. Here is another Shipwreck that I did, my Civivi X-Arc. Wow. Really good gentleman's knife, just a front flipper only that I'm failing right now. But this one's got a copper handle. You can see that copper, the way I ended up with this one, it really gave us this cool, rich, almost green swirl and blue. I think that the shipwrecking technique is one of the newer things I started doing that I love it. It's really fun. Depending on what you do and how you treat it, how you soak it, you can get different technique or different results. This has got a lot more of that yellow, and the black is soy sauce. Who knew? Who knew? You got to experiment to figure stuff out. And if you want to learn and then you want to try it on your own, you can watch your videos. You can kind of follow along, try it with a knife that you have, especially like the dye projects. This was a white Civivi Vision FG, and I dyed it red long time ago. I've got 59 dye project videos, start to finish, on a playlist on the channel. You can go check that out. We got live laser marking. You can see the laser mark actually happen while we're doing it. Just finished this one for MPG that I still need to mail out. I feel bad I didn't get to the post office this week. But did that kind of almost realistic shaded dragon scale pattern on there. I knew soy sauce would do that. I knew it. See, soy sauce does have salt in it, so the salt has an effect, but the salt is also watered down. rather than just dropping salt straight on. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff like that around here. Experimenting. It's a sickness and there is no cure. You know how many people have come and started watching it live and they're like, are those Matchbox cars? No. Each one is an individual, wow, excellent knife. Who's got a Shark Lock? The Demco 80 20.5, super fidgety, clickety-clack action. This is my fidget spinner right here. This thing is great. If anything, I just wish I had a titanium nicer one. They do look like cars though, don't they? But the Shark Lock on the back is awesome because it is completely ambidextrous. It's in the center. So it's right there and you pull that down and that's what releases the blade. So you can pull that down to open the blade, pull it down to close it, or you can use those I can fail that thumb stud. Or you can flick it out. Super fun, super fidgety. If I could get that in titanium with the big pivot and a nicer steel than this one here. This is the budget model. Budget models are still expensive for that Demco, but it's worth it. Those knives are super cool. Does repeated opening and closing of a knife wear down its mechanism? To an extent. Often, well, not often, but sometimes you get a knife and the action isn't great right when you get it. But after you open it and close it and mess around with it 100 times, or you sit and watch a movie and just kind of fidget with it, it breaks in to like really good. So almost like a baseball glove or something where it's like kind of stiff at first, but after a while it kind of breaks into this really nice. If you use a knife constantly, every day, for hours and hours, I could imagine it would eventually kind of wear out. But if you buy high quality steel, high quality materials, then it can last much longer. If you buy a $10 knife like this, you're going to have to sharpen it on a regular basis. The Ozark Grail from Walmart is a cool knife. It's fidgety, it's fun, it's amazing they can do this for 10 bucks, but it doesn't stay sharp very long. You will end up wearing that out significantly quicker. The Beast. What's up, The Beast? Where are you at today? What you doing? Could you make a knife with a tritium tube in it? I've seen knives that have either that, they have it in the thumb stud or they have it in the handle. And the thumb stud is basically inlaid kind of on the blade. So it does exist and that is out there. And that tritium or whatever, it's like a glowing material. I actually bought a thumb stud for my lander. I never changed it out, but I can swap that one out and it's got some tritium in the end of it, so then it would glow. Easier to see it in the dark. So that is something that does exist. What is my sharpest knife? It varies. It was my Sheriff, but I did so many cut tests with it that it's probably not very sharp anymore because I have actually never sharpened this. Yeah, and see it's starting to get, it's starting to catch a little bit. This thing though, if you watch my videos when it came out, I probably cut 100 pieces of paper with it and it was just like, just would tear right through it like no other. That's 154 cm. Right now, my thinnest, some of the thinner blades would probably be sharper, but I use so many of them so often and I don't have to sharpen all that much because I have so many. Love the Lander. Yes, Dan. The Landers are great. What's up, Dwayne Letterman? 280 up in here right now. Let's try to get 300. And we only got 57 likes. I'm not trying to be too pushy, but man, if you guys are having a good time, pop that like button. I'm having a blast. What a great day. I'm just hanging out, drinking my Red Bull. Hold on, I get my coffee. Coffee's probably not even that hot anymore. I made this right before, what do we start? 39 minutes? Ooh, Lord. Double fisting the caffeine, y'all. No, that's going to taste weird. It's like take a sip of both. Ew. I did pull out some knives It's getting to be ice fishing season pretty soon. I got this super cheapo Rapala from not too terribly long ago. I got it just because it was like all of $10. Haven't really used it. It's kind of, yeah, I mean, it's definitely cheap. It doesn't have a ton of flex on it, but I'm a knife guy, so when I find something and I'm like, ooh, that was $10, I could just throw it in and have it be like an extra fillet knife. The one that I use the most is this one right here, this Rapala, this size. This is actually a newer one. I had another one of these, and it dropped, and the tip got kind of messed up. And if you do fillet fish, if you ever fillet a fish, you know that more often than not, this section of the blade gets used more than, I mean, the way I go in, I'm using that tip a lot. I prefer a shorter knife. Some people really like, you know, a long fillet knife. This old Japanese one here, this one's super dull. I just have it in the collection because it's kind of cool. Stainless Japan. I don't know much else about it. I'll probably try to reprofile that edge sometime soon. But I like the shorter ones personally because you can just get in there, even if it's a big fish. I mean, it's not often you get something that's so large that this isn't long enough. But I'm usually going in there just under the skin and kind of riding along like this. And then I'll kind of slowly work it open. So for me, this old Rapala with the, what's it called again? Like Super Flex. It's got a nice Super Flex blade. You can get in there and you can feel it and ride the bones. These work awesome. I love them. I did last year. We weren't able to get a lot of ice fishing in last year. Comment in the chats. Do you like ice fishing? You live in the Midwest? Meet up with me. Let's go. But my buddy Tommy picked this knife up. And we went in a group of like, I don't know, 6 or 7 people and fished for a couple days up northern Minnesota last year. And he picked this up as a prize. So whoever got the biggest fish got to win this knife. So if you want to try to guess who got the biggest fish, I mean, just saying, it was a sweet walleye. I don't remember, it was like 27 inch. It was beast. It was my biggest walleye. Holy cow. Bunch of subscribers. Sepra, Samantha, MSRB, Ivan, Roy, Doja, and Silent Scream. What's up? Thanks for joining. If you're interested in knife, Sharpie, slicey content, custom stuff, I post video, full-length video every single day. I do shorts on a regular basis. But yeah, pretty sweet. I did fillet all the fish that day with this. So we had several crappies, a couple bluegills, a couple walleyes. And this works good. But again, this one's one of those longer blades. I definitely, where the hell did I put it? I still, even though I've used this, I've tested several different knives. When I do my fillet work, I like using a shorter one. Just my style. Everybody's got their own style. That's another one of those things that's cool about the knife world. One of the reasons there's so much variety in types is because not everyone's the same. Someone like myself who's lefty kind of prefers like an ambidextrous kind of style knife. Some people hate button locks. You know, so you never know. Do I have a Rambo knife? I don't, but people keep asking. I need to get one. Make myself a note right now. Start looking into it. Rambo. Because it's asked for a lot. They get asked for a lot. Out the fronts get asked about a lot. Balisongs get asked about a lot. Karambits get asked about a lot. This is a gnarly karambit. Look at this thing. Justin G, hey everyone, new subscriber. Absolutely love knives. Just came over from the Tempest knife sale. Anasto, was Tempest, did he go live? Did KC go live to sell those? It started already? Oh, I don't have the money. I wanted a Jetstream, but I just can't. I can't. I did get the Microjet. This is the new Tempest Knives. Microjet came out, I don't know, I guess it's been a month now. He had several versions. There's just a couple of them left. If you're interested, I would check one out. It is fantastic. But this is modeled after the Jetstream, which he now has a few available for that sale, and I just can't. He's done. The Jetstream went fast. Yeah, how many were there? Like 6? And what did they go for? Give me the goods in Nassau. You call that a butter knife? Butter knives fast, number 175. You can't just, that's legit. This is legit. This is from KC right there. This is priceless. What do you think of concept knives? They look nice. These are all my concept knives right here. Concept is great because they do full lefty versions. This is the Concept Fenrir, titanium and shredded carbon fiber and full lefty. Sick knife. They also do a full lefty Warrior. Look at that textured titanium. Oh, got the lefty lock right there. Boom. The Warrior's really cool. My favorite concept is the Tuckamore. Sorry, Concept Tuckamore. I got this Blade Show Texas last year. That's black titanium with a micarta inlay that just feels amazing. It's kind of an ugly, weird-looking bird knife. I just think it's fantastic. This knife is so cool. So yeah, Concept makes some great stuff. Shikari, button lock Shikari. Oh, titanium bolster. Great action, super looking, just clean knife. Look at that ramp for the thumb. I'm telling you, if you don't have a Concept, you want to get a budget one, get a Cryo. This is the Budget Cryo. Got a really nice click snap sound. Feels great in the hand, I tell you what. And then they got some beasts. That's the Concept Helix. Button lock Helix. This thing is enormous. They also do a mini Helix. I did the die on that, little fade die on there. This is a mini. Look at how big that knife is. That is a full sizer, but that's the mini because that's the full. So you can definitely tell. So yeah, if you're looking at Concepts, check them out. They are cool. Devo is my favorite brand in the last couple of years, says Craig. I like my Devos as well. I got the Devo Tallboy, came out not too long ago. This is the Blade Binge Dark Mode version. Tallboy is sick. Those extra jumps up on the top there. Oh, I love that. And then my favorite Devo, though, I only have 2 Devos. Where is it? There it is. The Devo Premium Pony Stout. I absolutely love this knife. This thing is so cool. You have preferences, sharpening 14C28 edge, finer edges, or coarser edge? I don't have any real preferences with different blade steels. I kind of do similar, but I don't sharpen a lot. I buy more knives, and then I don't use them a lot. So I can use a knife and then not use it again for a month or 2, and so I don't have to sharpen as much. John Pletcher, what is your sharpening setup? I have a couple different sharpening things. I have some stones that I don't use too much. Like I was just saying, I don't have to... Respect, Adrian. I don't have to sharpen all that often. So honestly, what I've been doing lately is I have the little Work Sharp field sharpener. It's got 200 grit on one side, 6 on the other. It got a ceramic stone and a strop on it. And most of my knives, I don't use them all that much. So what I can really honestly do is I can go in on that 600 side and just give it a few passes like this. And I'll go to the ceramic and then hit that right there like that. And because I don't use my blades all that often, most often than not, that's all I really need to do is just a little touch up. Sometimes I don't even need to do that much. Sometimes I can just go into that ceramic stone. Pretty good at holding an angle. Some of the other ones I've had, it's been a freestyle. I've always kind of been a freestyle sharpener. I've never really had one that you set an angle at, so I'm pretty accustomed to holding a specific angle that you want to sharpen it to and just kind of keeping it at that. And so I'm really mostly just kind of fixing the burr, touching it up. That's most of the sharpening that I do. I am interested in getting some ceramic stones, a little bit better, larger setup, and get several different You know, like maybe a 200, a 600, a 1,000, maybe even a higher one. But the way I've been doing it, I buy knives and I'm customizing knives and selling knives and moving through them a little bit more. I really don't sharpen as much as I probably should get into it. I'd love to get a TS Croft, something like that. They're expensive, but since I don't sharpen a lot, if I were to start sharpening a lot more, I mean, I even have this old school, this Smith's with the ceramic stones that you can put on the pointy side and then the edge side. I use this. It's also got a little diamond plate, but I can take this knife, I can take any knife right now and I can go in with these and spend 5-10 minutes on it, and I can get it splitting or shaving hairs off of your arm, no problem. No problem. So yeah. Tucson knives are fantastic. Excellent bang for the buck. I have a couple somewhere. I don't remember. I need to reorganize. I'm going to do a full review of all the knives. I don't know exactly how many it is. It's over 200, I know that. Folding knives are nowhere near as good as fixed blades with full tangs. They can be. I mean, a folding knife that I really love right now is the Milita. This is one of their budgeter versions, the 154 cm version. Excellent knife, but get that fixed blade Milita S35 VN. Very similar blade. Obviously, they're modeled after each other. The folder's a little bit thicker. The fixed blade, though, it's got those extra jimps out on the front, some jimps in that little spot right there. Ooh, feels really good in the hand. As far as if I was carrying a full-size fixed blade, this one would be it. It is fantastic. But Militas are great. They have so many of these available right now on the Kaiser site. They only were premium for a while, and now they have budget versions. You can get D2 154 cm, S35, S45, M390, titanium, G10, wood inlays, cool fancy colored inlays if you want to get a mini. So they have the smaller version as well. So if you're looking for just as like a little bit smaller but the same kind of style, same front flip, same, whoops, caught my finger on there. Same action. Militas are great. Kaiser is doing some amazing things. I have more Kaiser knives than any other knives in my collection. I love my Bark River fixed, but my Spyderco folders go with me daily. Yep. If once a Spyderco lover, always a Spyderco lover. Nothing wrong with that. Neves Knives. What's up, Neves? How are you doing? Good to see you in here, bud. I take, if you want to learn about sharpening knives, watch Neves. He knows what's up. He's the guy you want to talk to. I've gotten some inspiration. Some of the stones that he's talked about are some of the things I'm interested in. Some of the diamond-plated stones. That's what I'm kind of looking at getting into next. But as I said, I buy another knife. I carry a different knife almost every day. I'm always kind of changing it up. So I rotate through them so much. And I have so many that I love. That's like I got my CJRB Hector and S90V right here in the Ulta. Awesome knife. But I don't get to carry it all that often. So it's still about as sharp as when I got it at Blade Show last February. These are... That guy never sharpens his knives. He just buys another one. It's hilarious. Dude looks exactly like the type of guy to have a knife collection. I resemble that remark. That coffee was hotter when I started. Love the knife content. Thank you, Wade. I love doing it. I'm actually an artist. I went to school for art. Actually, I went to school for engineering for about 3 years. Had like a year and a half left, and I realized I didn't want to be an engineer. I didn't like it. I wanted to design cars, but I didn't want to play on a computer. I wanted to be that guy who had that piece of clay and he sculpted into that cool Ferrari shape and was like, look at this. And then I realized that wasn't the engineers, those are the artists. All the engineers are just taking that design and then making it more aerodynamic, making it more efficient, sitting at a desk, and it was like, this isn't for me. I basically started over, became like a Van Wilder, went to school for, 11 years, whatever. When you have a huge knife collection, you don't have to sharpen very much unless you really like the knife. However, chef or kitchen knives need sharpening. Yes, I agree with that. Chef or the kitchen knives definitely need a regular sharpening. I live alone right now, so I don't cook a lot. I eat out often, so I don't need to do that as much either. But thanks for the input, Neves. If anyone, I'm sure you've all watched Neves Knives, but go check him out. He's fantastic. Got some really good content. I've looked up to him for a while, for sure. If you had an obsession with sharpening, you wouldn't have all that beautiful hair. Why, thank you, Travis. I do have some bald spots, though. It's funny how I start, because that's kind of the thing when I do sharpen. I instantly go like this, and I'm like shaving off a little section, and that's how I test if it's good. And can I shave a little hair off my arm or not? And if I can't, we're not done. Do I have any case knives? I do, Justin. Only one. It's kind of weak. Need to add to my collection. I know. I'm not as big into slip joints and like lockbacks as much as like more common button locks and liner locks and stuff. But I do have the Sod Buster Junior. So got to have that staple for the collection. I have a lot of knives in the collection that have those staple type things that I never use. Like you got to have the Opinel. I think these are terrible. I mean, some people absolutely love it, and they're going to be like, oh, why do you hate that knife? It's like, it's just not for me. It's a two-hand open. To me, it feels like I took an old dowel. I broke a broom. I cut the dowel off the end, and I stuck a knife on the end of it. They're slicey, and there's a place for them. I have one in my collection. But it sits there on the shelf, not getting used. I will try stuff too. Like when Justin and I went to Shields, we were like, what's this Ruco? I've never heard of Ruco. So I had to buy the $10 Ruco knife. I think it's 420 stainless or something. Yep, 420A stainless. But look at the action on this knife. For $9.99, what? I mean, is that blade steel good? Is this going to last? I like to check out all knives, everything that exists out there. We'd never heard of Ruco, so it was like, well, I'm giving that company $10 and I'm going to play around with this stupid thing. I put it next to my knives, like my, you got to have them gas station quality. You're lucky you don't have steel hairs out of brushes to test hair whittling. But yeah, these ugly, silly things, I love them. I love them. And I'm also looking at new stuff. If you haven't seen, there is a new company that's out this year. They're out of China. They're called Molsect. Molsect contacted me. They sent me a few knives to test out to kind of help promote. If you go to molsect.com, they got a good sale going on right now. I don't have a link or anything in front of me, but if you use the code KDK, you will get 10% off of their sale price. This is the Molsect Jungle. 14C28N, got a really cool G10 kind of snakeskin pattern on that handle. Obviously, it's a huge blade. Crazy Roach, what's up? So it drops really well. Boom. Ha! But it's a beast. It's fun. I dig it. And Molsect, they have like 8 knives out, and they have a few more coming out soon. But a lot of variety. They got a big one. They've got this is the Orbit. I wasn't a fan of it being skinnier at the end, but after holding it and making some cuts and carrying it for a day, it's got that nice hollow grind on there, super pointy tip. The Orbit is great. It's a front flipper. And of course, I'll fail it for you. Boom. Weak sauce. But it's a nice one. And the other one that Molsect sent out was the Arch. This has got olive wood. I did notice the detent on this. See, it gets to there. And it doesn't swing down, you kind of have to swing through it. And so if anything, I would say they need to bring that detent spot up so it doesn't get that like kind of double clutch kind of action where it kind of hits right there. If that were to hit up there, then I'd already be past it. It'd be easier to swing shut. But the flip out is just satisfying and it feels really nice in the hand. I love the look of it and that olive wood. I think olive would look better without all that shiny gloss to it, but they did stabilize it, so it's going to make that wood stronger and a little bit less likely to crack. But the Arch is fun. So yeah, if you're interested, go check out Molesect. Like I said, use the code KDK and you can get 10% off their already good prices over the weekend. What's everyone buying? What's the thing? Did anyone get anything from Tempest? I know he had a couple things for sale, and Asso was just saying that's over already. Kathleen, I have a couple Opinels in the kitchen. I use them to cut fruit. They work better than any of your kitchen knives. Well, they are really thin. What is the thickness on an Opinel? Let's find out. It's probably one of the thinnest blades in the collection. 0.06. That is thin. So you sharpen that up as slicey. How often do you have to sharpen it then, Kathy? Does it dull out fairly quick or does it hold an edge? I honestly have never used it. I put it in my hand and I'm like, it's in the collection, but not for me. Gotta go, guys. Hey, Neves, thanks for stopping by. Cool of you to pop in, give a little input. Have a great weekend. It's Friday. We have the whole weekend in front of us. Lots of fun plans, lots of relaxing, lots of videos I gotta make. I gotta work on some stuff with these, the gravity knives that I got from Mikey Trails. I need to test these out, kind of get used to them a little bit. I haven't had the opportunity to have these really cool gravity knives. I have a couple cheapos like this Trezent. It works good. But Mikey Trails saw it and he was like, dude, let me send you a couple Rios to check out. So I get to enjoy those for a week or so and then ship them back to him. He did send me this Rosecraft. Whoops. I caught the front flipper on my finger. Boom. Just the ugliest little pocket monster it's called. But that choke up spot is sick. This feels good. I'm going to try to use this for cutting some boxes or something. I feel like detail work where you got to get in really tight like this. I know. This is a technique though. I call this the detail work technique. Right? I think that would work well for that. Another one that I use a lot for that similar kind of a thing is the Cold Steel Tough Light. As you can see, it gets beat, but it's just got that same kind of grip right here. I like that Warncliffe kind of blade. I can just get right in there and just right through some thick cardboard like no problem. And I use this quite a bit. And for an inexpensive knife, this Cold Steel Tough Light, it stays sharp. Cutting a lot of cardboard with that, and it does its thing. Thanks for subscribing, Joel Collymore. Can't wait to get my chaparral. Gonna be super slicey. Love your full-size EXO. EXOs are great. Look at the Zerkatai on the smaller one, though. Oh, Jesus. Mikey's got good taste. Look at that little inlay piece. Tell me that's not gorge. A little bit more money on the Zerkatai. What am I doing? The Zerkatai version. But that drop, just boom, it's closed. I think it's so cool. 20 CV is hard steel. I have trouble sharpening it too. Right? In some steels, it's crazy. It's the hardness of that steel. If it's the harder steel, then it holds its edge longer, but that also means that it takes more work to sharpen it. It's a softer steel, you'll be able to sharpen it really easy, but then it'll get dull faster. I do not have a ballistic knife. And Papa, that is a cardboard killer, no doubt. I don't own any Spydercos, Alex. I have a couple here right now. That's one of the reasons I'm not a big fan of Spyderco. They just, I'm not, no offense to the Spyderco lovers, but the action on them, I'm not as big of a fan. I don't like the designs as much. You know how knives, they grab you and they tell you this is for you. And one of the other things is like, see, this has the compression lock. So as a righty, look, I got all my fingers on there, my thumb pushing against the other side, and I can close it. Now, if I've got this as a lefty, when I go to do that, I have all, it's like I'm holding, there's nothing on this side but this little teeny thumb, and it's like, it's going to drop out of my hand. So then I now need to buy the lefty version, and the lefty versions are expensive. And so if I had a couple $100 to spend on that lefty version, then I will also say, well, there's another knife I like for $200 that I'd rather have that has action that just is like, feels great, opens and closes how I want it to, like every time. Where is my Where did I put that? Every time I pick it up, set it back down, should be right in front of me. The pony. This thing is just great. Just feels so good in the hand. It flicks out really nice, and I just love everything about it. So it's just one of those things that Spyderco doesn't really grab me very much. Don't overstrop or push hard on the strop. Wade's been playing with the Ken Onion electric sharpener grinder, and it's fun. You can polish, buff, and do so much more. Interesting. I've seen him a little bit. It kind of worries me. Like, not that I whoop, but if it's like something that's moving and you kind of slip, now you could scratch up the whole side of your surface or something. How much? Cut my hair. Oh, it's doing well. I'm getting old, and if you can see, it's not recessed, and there is no gray coming in. I have grays right here. They're not really sticking out because it's kind of thin, but if you get to be my age and you can farm hair like this, it's not gray and not receding, then it's like your duty to do so, I think. I would recommend the Manix. Honestly, it's your favorite model. Yeah, because you can get the Manix XL, and that has the crossbar style lock on it. So that is a little bit different. Although, see, that's the thing, is if I was going to get a Spyderco, I would want one of those unique, like the compression lock. I just, doing that with the left hand, I need to get a lefty compression lock. What's up, B Shady? How you doing? Rust is cool, but useless. Other than diving protection. Rusterman likes knives with the cool factor, right? Cool factor is what's up. Max Ace Goliath. Actual Hamon on that blade. Sanmai SLD Magic. Titanium. Smooth action. Beast. How could you not love that? We got Rene Ramon Chavez right now. He beats on that thing. Look at that. Look what he's done to that blade. We're customizing this, though. We're going to be doing an ano laser. Stay tuned to find out. Have you ever messed around with the Yo Jumbo? I customized the Yo Jumbo. That thing is sick. Just an absolute beast. Do you think Benchmade gets overpriced? I know Benchmade gets overpriced. They are overpriced. That's just how it is. I understand a USA-made company is going to cost more to manufacture than, China or somewhere else. But if you've got a knife that you can get in China for $100, and then the USA-made kind of equivalent is around $250 to $300, well, the Benchmade version is going to be $450, $500. Which is just ridiculous. They just overcharge. I have a couple Benchmades. I have the Benchmade tagged out. Not really a fan. They make it to be super light. It shouldn't be light. It shouldn't be light. I want to get this in titanium. I love the way that scale is. It's a cool shape. It's a cool design. It's a nice knife. But I don't really carry it. It's too light for me. I could probably get some titanium scales made for it. But it's kind of overpriced. For what you're getting out of that knife, you can spend less and get more, if you ask me. Some people are very picky, and you only want to buy American. That's fine. I respect that. But there are some other companies out there in other countries that are hardworking people that are just making a living and have a company making some knives that are really cool that we have the opportunity to get. So I get them. Do you do your own ano work? Yes, I do, Wade. I don't have many things to show. I did this with the titanium pry bar to show all the colors you can get with titanium, just so I can use that as a sample guide. So someone's like, oh, do something. I'm like, well, these are your color options. You only have so many choices. I have a couple for giveaways that I'm saving up. These little mini guys. It's in a bag, so it stays nice. But I anodized this in a green. And then I sanded the top, and then I anodized it again in the gold, so a nice little two-tone. That one actually looks like this little titanium S35V micro blade. I also anodize this one in the blue, so I handle this one all the time. If you look inside that crack where it's a little bit shinier blue, this was all kind of that steel blue shine. But as you touch it and fingerprint it up and patina it, it kind of dulls out a little bit. But I have access to really, really nice anodizing equipment that is very precise, and you can adjust levels, time, voltage, everything exactly how you want it. So it's a really fun process. I also do laser marking, and a little paisley laser mark on there. I just did this laser mark on this pyrite with this kind of realistic looking dragon scale. So a lot of fun custom stuff going on the channel. Holy bros do stuff. Wow, lots of knives. Got a couple. I've been getting into, well, I did some scrimshaw. Scrimshaw is the art, smells like good scrimshaw, where you take a knife like this trapper with a bone handle, and then you scratch. You basically scratch carve a pattern, and then you rub ink on it. And then when you wipe it down, you're left with the pattern, the design. This was one of my first ones. It needs some work. It's pretty weak. It's tough because when you're pulling a line, you're carving a line into bone. It's not smooth. It's like, so if you go slow, you're not going to be able to keep a straight line. It's going to jag it around and get gnarly on you, and little chips fly off. I mean, they're tiny, but chips are actually flying off when you're scratching the bone. First, I learned you can do practice on like these spoons, like these cheap spoons. But the thing is, it's a soft plastic, so it doesn't chip the same way. But I did some tests with some pressure, kind of did my name, you know, not strong enough, and kind of practiced that a little bit. And then I kind of did a little test, little drawing on this side with a little landscape kind of thing. Like I said, I went to school for art, so I paint and I sculpt and I draw. But drawing with basically a sharp tip and then filling it with ink is a little bit different, but that is tiny. I mean, that is a spoon, so I got it zoomed in. It looks a little bit bigger, but those birds are really, really small. But I do have many, many knives with bone handles. Got the Rough Rider elephant toe. Big old surface. I can draw something cool on there. So that is one of the projects that I like working on. Some of these slip joints, I mean, tell me this is not cool, right? Rough Rider, swing guard pops out. Got my micarta with those red inlays. This is a budget Rough Rider blade, but I try them all. Budget, expensive, everything in between. That just looks so cool. And with that swing guard opening up, so it's a lock back. When you close it, that swing guard is nice and just stuck right up against the side right there. But you open it up and just boom, it pops out. Very fun. I need to get with someone for advice on lasers. It's my advice on lasers is it's a lot of trial and error. You have to test. Every time you get a new thing that you're going to laser mark, you have to now dial in settings. So I have settings where we figure out some good settings for like stainless, a good setting for titanium, a good one for like aluminum. But then when you do another handle that's also aluminum, it could be a little different. The surface could be coated different. There could be a slightly different composition. So what's nice with like scales, this is a couple scales I'm doing for Mikey Trails. Well, for me to laser this side, I have this entire side to test because that's all hidden within. You can't really see it. So I'll have my setting kind of dialed in for a big chunk. I'll get a big chunk of aluminum, test it a bunch, figure out what I want, and then move into the actual piece, make a tiny little dot like right there and say, okay, well, it looks like it's burning, or it looks like it's a little hot, it's a little black, or whatever, however you want it to be. And then you can kind of make a couple more dots until you dial in exactly what you want it to be for that particular piece. Then you can do your mark. But if you just willy-nilly just start marking stuff, you're going to burn, you're going to have issues with the speed, the tolerances. You have to have the defocus set right. It's kind of a learning curve. But what's nice is most laser settings, like laser machines, I think I have one over here. Yeah. You can do, if you've got scrap, Jesus Christ. If you have scrap, I'll get to that in 1 second, Tosh. So if you look right here, this is a scrap piece of stainless, and then you do a test. And so this test marks all these different parameters. So a little cold, a little hotter, a little faster, a little slower. And then you look at those and you're like, ooh, I like D3 or whatever. And then you can take that setting and then kind of further tweak that. But as far as laser marking goes, it's a learning curve as far as you just have to trial and error. You have to practice. You have to get some settings in, and then you have to just do a lot of tests. Can I see the knife on the left bottom above this 2 silver folding knives? Okay, so, this one? Tasha, this one? 2 silver folding knives would be here, I would assume. My bottom, yeah, so here, these two, this one. Yeah, this one's a winner. Everyone loves this knife. This thing is fantastic. You can't buy this knife. I don't know where to tell you to get it. You have to go to the 80s to buy this knife. Quick, I'll retell the story once. When I was a kid, I was at a 4th of July carnival. I threw a dart into a balloon. I won, and this was my prize, an actual knife. Yeah, brass, walnut, and then it's stainless Pakistan. It's cheap. I beat the hell out of it as a kid. You can see the tip has been blunted. I need to resharpen it. It was covered in rust recently, and we went in with some vinegar and a Santoku stone. You can see all that rust on that edge, and we cleaned it up. Still got a lot of pits and stuff in it, but probably one of my favorite, most non-replaceable knives in the collection, because you just have all the memories as I'm a kid running around thinking I'm He-Man with this sword, you know? But when you're like 4, 12, 13 or whatever, that's just, you can't find knives like that anymore, right? Right? It is fantastic. Someone wanted to buy it, and I was like, I can't sell that. You can't, that's a completely priceless item. Did I freeze? Why did I freeze? Tasha Miller, absolutely, me too. You know, it's like it, or you were born in 92. I'm a little older than that. But yeah, stuff from the 80s, I just dig it. 80s stuff, 90s stuff, it's just cool. It's cool. Another time, I'm getting into records a little bit more. They just sound rich and fun. I mean, I can listen to anything on YouTube or whatever at any time, but listening to something on an actual record, there's something to it. Aries EDC makes great knives. Yes, he does, Papa Rhino. If you have not seen, go to Aries EDC. Thanks, Cece. I did not freeze. Aries EDC is a knife maker. He was just live earlier today, finishing up a couple knives for some people. So that's one of the cool things. If you buy a knife from him, you can actually watch on his channel as he works on it and finishes it. Very cool stuff. I would like to get one. The one he's got right now that I'm interested in, it's totally worth it. I'm just kind of broke as far as knife spending right now, the holidays, and deciding on what things I want to get and sales and stuff like that. I don't have the extra cash right now, but I would love to do it. The lime green one in front of me is a Rosecraft Pocket Monster, and it is a monster. It's just ridiculous. It's ugly. Flicks out nice. Huge. Absolutely the largest choke up spot on any knife I've ever had. You could put 2 fingers in that choke up practically, but it's a small knife. So when you get up in that choke up and put your hand on those jimps, it's just at home. It's ready. Kind of a curved belly, a little bit less easy for certain types of cuts, but getting in there and doing some close-up work, it's a weird one. It's a Swags design. Her designs kind of have a lot of similarities in their handles, shapes, kind of like that. Got a nice front flipper on there, if my hands weren't slipping off. It's ugly, but it's cool. And the blade shape is nice. I'm excited to kind of mess around with it a little bit. Aries stuff is insane awesome, for sure. Man, what a good crowd we've had in here today. Having a good time. Anybody got any plans later this afternoon? It is freezing cold here. Some buddies are meeting in an hour to go disc golf. I haven't decided if I want to go or not. It is freezing. This channel is turning into KDK Live. You know, Lander man, you got to give the people what they want. Give the people what they want. Lives have been the vertical lives have been quite successful. Channel's fun. I have a blast interacting with people. This is an instant interaction with everyone. Analytics, what's going on? And what's crazy, it's snowing in Indiana right now, huh? What's crazy is recent growth. I can kind of give to the vertical lives. I hit 6,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. One lonesome Rubik's Cube. Here. Now there's two. Two lonesome Rubik's Cubes. But yeah, it was a week into November, like November 6th, I hit 6,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Well, it is now almost the end of the month. What is it, the 29th? And I am over 6,500. So I'm already 500 on my way to 7,000. My actual projection for getting to 6,000 was like the first week in December. And it ended up being the first week in November. And now here by December, I'm looking like I might move up into the 7,000 range. The numbers have been increasing. Got a nice crowd in here. 151 people in here right now. Are we having a good time? If so, hit that like button. Show me what you think. I want to start making a knife display today. Dude, I need to make more. I'm basically running out of space. There's a few gaps, but I also have knives out here, knives over here. I've got like 15 knives that have custom jobs that I'm going to be doing for. I've got 4 knives right now that are custom jobs for other people that they sent me. Actually 5. Forgot about that one. Got you, Mikey. I've got like 30 knives over there for my mini knife shootout that I'm going to be doing soon that I haven't had a chance to get to because I've just been too... My 12-year-old grandson wants a Rubik's Cube. Which one do you recommend? Kathleen. I don't remember the name of the site. The ones that I can recommend are really good, are not expensive. Kathleen, email me, Kathleen. Give me your address, and I will send you a cube for free, 100%. If your 12-year-old grandson wants to get in a Rubik's Cube, I have one for him right now. You give me your address, Kathleen, and I'll mail it to you. I'll throw some KDK stickers in there as well. I would love to do that. Encouraging people to start doing stuff like Rubik's Cubes is big for me. I'm not going to be able to do that for everyone in the chat here. But Kathleen, she's around all the time. She's fantastic. Kathleen, I'll send you one. They're not expensive. So I'm being cheap or whatever, but you can buy really cheap ones for like $3-4. But there's really nice ones that are between $10 and $20 that work fantastic, especially if you're a beginner. Some of the better ones, they spin really fast. Oh, Jesus. And they're really, really smooth. And so what happens is they're too smooth, and so they go too fast, so you overshoot. And when you're a beginner, you want it to be a little bit stiffer so that you don't have as many overshoots and you can kind of control it rather than going like that and it just spins like crazy. It's a little bit tighter, but it allows you to kind of get into position without kind of doing overshoots. So yeah, Kathleen, get a hold of me. I will be glad to send you one. And then once he does his first solve, I can also give you some directions. I'll probably remember to add that when I mail it. There's a few channels that have like basic how to learn how to solve that gets you going, because you can't just I don't care how smart you are, if you can solve one of those without help, then you need to be a rocket scientist or something like that. But getting the tricks is like learning how to put the corners in, learning how to find out where the centers are. You got to learn a couple of little algorithms, but I'm convinced it wouldn't take long if they're determined that they'd be able to do a solve. And then you could become addicted and then want to do it all the time. I'm back. Hey bro, what's the fixed blade on the table to my left by the tray? This one. This is the one everybody asks out. Everybody loves this. It's my carnival knife, dude. This is like the top knife. It's crazy. I mean, I love it too. I can never get rid of it. It's not, you can't buy this. You have to go back in time to find something like this. There is not a lot of value to it other than my sentimental. Look at all those pit marks. I cleaned all the rust off just recently. If you want to see it completely rusted out, watch a video from a few days back and we cleaned it all off. The other one in front of that, there is not a fixed blade in front of that. This one is not a fixed. It's such a cheapo folder. I guess this one's a fixed. Were you talking about this one here? What was like gas? Boom! This is the Sheriff. I bought this at Midwest Knife Makers show. This guy is kind of a local Minnesota guy, 154 CM, kind of a one-off. Nice solid piece of 154, and that micarta handle feels great. This is just a box cut and box opening machine. Mark, so you were talking about this one. Dude, I need to resharpen this, but look at that edge. Look at how mirror polished that is. If you go into my shorts, go on my channel and go into the shorts and type share, or just go into my channel and type Sheriff. I have a short of this right when I got it. I was taking a piece of paper and it's like, this thing cuts. It was so ridiculously sharp when I got it. I probably cut 30, 40 pieces of paper with it like that. And then it started to get dull. I need to sharpen her back up. Never won a knife at a carnival, but won a bunch of girls in bikinis with motorcycles on glass. Yep, that's what you got. You got the mirrors, or you got the roach clip that had the feathers on it that you put in your hair. I think I could have taken either of those prizes. I think I did have a choice from what I recall. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, knife. Knife all the way. Can't win a knife at a carnival. You can't even buy a knife at a carnival anymore. Freaking awesome. Thank you, sir. Yes, I'll check it out. Dude, that initial short, it's ridiculous. I wish I could bring it up right now, but I can't. But it's just like, it was, my mind was blown. I wish I would have bought a couple from that guy. What's up, Fook Doozle? Fook number 1. What's up, my man? Those Evo gravity knives are fun. Right? These are all from Mikey Trails. This one just drops so fast. Just boom, it's closed. Right? Pow. Super cool stuff. I mean, even the razor blade one. If you're going to be cutting wires and stuff that's going to make your stuff dull at work all the time, get one of these. Super fidgety, super fun. And you can swap that razor blade out. I'm not a razor blade using guy at all. When I started my job, we're opening boxes and cutting tape and cutting shrink wrap off of the sides of things all the time. And they had the cheapo razor blade things. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I show up with a different knife every day and I cut everything with my knives. And it makes me a much happier person. For sure. Fook Doozle doing some woodworking. How goes it? How goes it? 11:15. Holy cow. We are trucking along. An hour and a half already? 5:06. Hold on a second here. Ugh. CD is in. I'm getting texts. I got my alerts on silent. I left them on not silent the other day, and I was like, and I have a couple group texts. Those group texts, they can be good when you're trying to get together to do stuff. But if you're not interested or you got to work that day or whatever, and it's like, and you're like, oh, I need to get out of this thing. Or someone does it in the morning, and my buddy's like, dude, stop. I'm trying to sleep. Do I have an OTF dual action? Says Pip Maple. This is the Boker USB. Nothing special, nothing large. In fact, where does it go? Yep. But it's got a nice fun OTF. I'm not big into the OTFs as much. I mean, I got these gravity knives right now. They go out of the front. And they're daggers. The crazy weird ones, I do have this old triple action. It's not an OTF, but it's a dagger. It's kind of like a butterfly knife in a way. It's got an interesting kind of a shape and design. You ever seen one of these? I bought this one about 15 years ago. So the way it works is this drops, then the blade swings up, and then that swings shut. Sorry, it's hard to do slow, but so you can go like that, swing that shut, flip it around this way. Whoops. I did it right the first time. Of course, now, there you go. Boom. This is the cold steel triple action, dual edge dagger. If you can find one of these, it's probably used. They don't make these anymore. It's probably, yeah, I think I said I got it in like 2007 or 8. Nice collection. I leave mine open in a glass case. It's kind of full because of that. Most of them are cheap. Yeah, you know, I have a lot. Ooh, my lights are starting to dim out. I have a lot. Most of these range in that $30 to $100 kind of price. That more of that budget kind of friendly. I mean, definitely have some premium knives. I mean, I got some full lefty shredded carbon titanium Fenrir. You know, so I got some premium knives in here. Got a titanium S90V frac. Right? So I got some premium stuff, but I also, I'm a fan of some budget. If you can get something at a good deal, I'll check it out. One of my newest ones, this is the Ned Foss Cougar with a hair. Probably mine. Button lock. Really cool looking action on it. 14C28N and a steel handle. I'm going to do a cool laser mark on there. Comment below what you think I should do. But got some nice swing. Flips out nice. Good choke up. Cool things from Ned Foss. That's my first knife from Ned Foss. What the frack? Gotta go. Stay warm, y'all. Says none for now. Triple actions are neat. I haven't seen one of those in forever. Right, Dan Stan? When I saw that and that came out, it was like, that was back in the day, early 2000s. I was getting all the cold steel like catalogs, and they would have those videos where they're like cutting pigs, carcasses and stuff, and doing all these crazy cut tests and putting them in and doing these nutty stress tests. If you've ever seen some of those videos from cold steel, check it out. It's crazy. But yeah, I saw that and was like, that is different. It's unique. I need one. It's one of the nicest Ned Fosses I've seen. I haven't even really seen too many Ned Fosses. I don't even know too much about them. I saw this. It was on sale on Amazon. Good price, good look. And who was it? Like the day I got it, then Tri-State posted a video about it. I was like, oh, I must have got a good one because he likes it. And I'm like a day behind him. He posted his Acacia video, and like I literally had my Acacia. It arrived that day too. Buying a lot of the same knives. I suppose when you get your hand on the pulse and you're kind of paying attention to the company, you know what stuff's coming out that's interesting and what I want to check out. I haven't pulled this one out yet today. This is Lanyard Man's Kunwu S-Tau 2. Full DLC on everything. The Van X and that honeydew textured titanium. Absolutely awesome. Boom. Tell you what. What do we think? What's everyone doing today? What's the plan? Are we hanging out? We're doing stuff. Everybody's got places to go. Having some lunch pretty soon. Friends are trying to get me to go outside, but it is freezing. Not that it's winter. Here we go. But you know how some days you just don't feel. My buddy made a post. Tim Dog posted something about your brain. It's not too cold. We can go outside and do stuff. And then the brain answers, sweatpants, hunker down, eat carbs, something like that. Little Lucifer, can I get your opinion on a weird knife brand? I've never heard of that one. So I don't know. What I can do is I've been taking notes. when I do vertical lives, since I can't look stuff up, when I do my regular lives on Thursday, we can look things up, we can check stuff out, look at pictures, do split screens and stuff like that. But these vertical lives, I don't have that access. So I make notes. So I will write that down and I will look it up. So the next time little Lucifer comes on, I might be able to reply to that. I'll check it out. If I can find it, I'll give you some info. Kenna, I missed it. Let me back up. Kenna says, where are you based out of? Do you sell knives? Okay. I'm in Minnesota, in the metro Minneapolis kind of area. I do sell knives, but I don't actually sell. I'm not like a retailer. I sell like customs. And so I might sell a couple knives if I've got knives I did reviews on and I'm purging. A lot of times I use those for like giveaways or whatever. But I do custom stuff, so I'll take like a knife that had like a brown handle and then I'll do the dye and make it red like this. And then I'll take the blade and do an acid etch, maybe some kind of cool thing like that. Got this custom right here. And then someone will say, ooh, I like that. And then they'll buy that and I'll ship that to them. Some people will send me their knives. This is Rene Ramon Chavez. So I'm going to be doing an anodize and laser combo on that pretty soon. I got some scales sent to me that I'm going to be doing a laser mark on pretty soon. So I sell stuff of projects that I do. I'll make things and I think they're super cool and I'll just want to keep it. But then if someone's like, ooh, I love that custom, would you sell it? I will, because if you really like a shipwreck that I do, whoops, and you say, oh, I really want that, and you don't want to do it yourself, I also teach, like all my videos, I kind of show you how I do it. So if you want to then go in and then try it yourself, you can kind of take my advice and I give you as much info as I can so you can then try it on your own, or you can send it to me. I can do it and send it to you, or you can be like, ooh, I really like that one that you did. Is it available? And then I can sell that to you. Watching Chiefs and Raiders, says Lanyard Man. I recommend Giant Mouse, personally addicted. Few QC issues, I've heard that here and there with the Italian-made ones, but Riot-made ones are perfection. Thanks for the input, Preston. Go Chiefs, says Bad Seed. But yeah, if you watch the channel, you can watch all the custom stuff that I do every time. Wow, my lights are really dying out. I got to plug those in. Every time I finish something, I post a video on it. I made this one dye nice and blue. Sometimes it's really simple like that, and then it's in the collection, but then someone might pop up one day and be like, oh, do you still have that Blood Raven? Yes, I do. And so then they might be interested in that, and then I'll sell it. Or a lot of them I'll just keep having the collection. I love knives, and so adding to my collection is always good. There's a few that people wanted that I sold them that like the Arc Blast. The Sencut Arc Blast is actually a really nice budget knife for like 45 bucks. I did a laser mark on it. Someone wanted it. I sold it, and I haven't gotten another one, but I really like to. Kathleen says, I inspired her to buy the tiny brass knife. I'm going to try a shipwreck. Dude, these little... Oh, I do have them on the table here. I got so much stuff on the table. Got another one, though. These little Rough Riders, look at that. That was just solid brass. Now it looks like this. Who doesn't want to try that out, huh? I subscribe just in case because I am myself a knife connoisseur, so you never know. For sure. And if you're just looking to just watch some knife content, talk, I've been doing a lot of vertical lives lately because I've been getting a lot of interaction, a lot of people. I don't even have to really have much prepared. I have some stuff I was going to do today, but I haven't even gotten to that because we've been just chatting about stuff. And to me, that's what's the greatest is I have a lot of friends. They're all cool. Not all of them are as into knives, or some of them are, but not as many. So it's like you don't have that community where you can chat about things that you love. And obviously, I love knives. And so this outlet that I have found with this channel, I have a full-time job. This is just my funsies. And I love doing the projects and stuff. So making the videos, sharing the content, kind of help teach people how to do some stuff, what cool knives are out there. I'm just having an absolute blast doing it. And I'm here. We're going to keep going. It's great. Have you ever made any of your own knives? No, John Pletcher, but I want to. There's a couple classes around here. There's one that's like an 8-hour day, but you go in and you completely forge a knife and you walk out the door having that knife in your hand. The guy who actually teaches around here was on Forged in Fire. I saw him at the Midwest Blade Makers show a couple months ago, and I got his information, and I don't know, I'd love to do something like that. If I knew someone that was into forging or making knives, or even just stock removal, I'd be down with trying some type of a stock removal as well. I'd love to. I don't know how many I have, Kai Smith. More than 200? Probably pushing 250. I'm at 35 Kaisers, so that alone, right? Yeah. Yeah, Mike. Ox. Long. Some people like to be cute. They like to be cute with that, you know. I've got plenty of collectible knives if you're interested. I'm splitting my collection. I mean, I could be Eagle Has Landed. If you go into my description, you can find my email or my Instagram. You're welcome to message me, give me a list, or show me some pics of some stuff that you have available. Potentially. I'll check it out. Got to go round up some hunting gear. Thank you, showing me some of those knives. Absolutely. Have a good hunt. Hopefully it's successful. Hopefully. Everything day by day, right? I'm getting excited for ice fishing pretty soon. I love ice fishing, so hopefully this year is not like last year. Last year's was terrible. The ice never really came. Became a mess. There's Iowa AK. What's up, bud? Counted yours yesterday. Just said 110. You've got 110 since February. Oof. Yeah, you know Iowa's wife likes knives. You know it. Because if she didn't, there probably wouldn't be that number, right? But if she likes it, it's kind of nice because then it's like, ooh, I can get this one and she can say it's for her, and then you can still kind of have it in the collection, you know? Bowl cutter blades. No, we just use rubber bands on the bowls. Just the old rubber band does the trick. I have a problem. I understand your problem. I'm right there with you. Iowa's coming up. We're going to go ice fishing, though. No doubt about it. Bad Seed gravity knives are super cool. And if you can't afford these Riots like me, and you need Mikey trails to send you a couple so you can look at them, you can buy yourself one of these. This is the Trezin. These are only like 20 bucks. Whoops, that's my fault. Not a bad little guy for the price. There are some straight up Riot knockoffs that look exactly like this that are all like 50 bucks, but I don't support that because Riot is right here. This is it. This is the thing. This was designed by someone. And if you're going to take this exact design, which can be purchased by someone right now, and copy it and steal it, I think that's not cool. So I'm not going to be buying one of those, although you can buy one on Amazon for 40 bucks, 45 bucks right now. But I don't promote that. I mean, there's been times where I bought something I didn't realize it was a knockoff. I don't really support that. Now, if it's a company that came out 10, 20 years ago, they don't make it anymore, you can't get it at all, and someone's knocking it off, that's different. Because that's the only option. Riot has these available right now. So if you can go buy this right now from them, someone else making this exact same design, but with lesser quality materials, it's kind of, they're ripping them off. The Riot EXO has some budget models now. Yep, like this one here. This is kind of their budget because it doesn't really have a blade. It's got the razor, but it's got the lock on there. So you still got that lockout. You can change that blade if you want. It's got that same fun action. Whoops. And these are, I think, only like 70 bucks, something like that. Cameron Greer here for the knife show. Yeah, those Riots are sick. I'm unfortunately going to have to send those back to Mikey in like a week. But he saw that I had the one. He was like, yeah, I got some of those. If you want to check them out, do a little review on them. Here we are. Now I got them, which is fantastic. I like a little bit of everything. Let's play with the Titus. Who doesn't love a Titus? Go get yourself a Kubi Titus. Boom. You get these for about 40, 45 bucks right now. Huge blade. This one's got D2, but it does have that Ultim. If you love Ultim, look at that chunk of Ultim. Really nice texture. Feels great in the hand. Bigger knife. But it's dope. Do I have a Kaiser Drop Bear? Kaiser Drop Bear. This thing is a staple. If you don't have a Drop Bear, I would recommend it. They have budget versions all the way up to premium versions. My buddy Dave has the, what is it, the 20 CV version with the cool camel carbon on it. This one's a 154, but that clutch lock just works great. Opens every time, closes every time. It's just a no fail, no nonsense. This thing's in your pocket. You can be blind up here holding a thing and open it up, make your cut, close it, never have to look at it, open it different ways, and it just works every time. Drop Bear. There is a reason I keep saying that if you buy something from Kaiser, you'll notice they have about 30 different stickers with the Drop Bear logo. Like that many. It's definitely a I do have a Moyle. I have a short EM of a Moyle cutting blade. You can check that out. You can see if you can try to find that. The Mike Oxlong shout out still has you dying. It was like an hour ago. Oh, that's fun. You know, it's those little cute little, trying to sneak something in there, you know. Danny Baballo, also really into knives and Rubik's Cubes. Super into knife sharpening and have your own company. YouTube knows me too well. You have your own company? Doing what? Like knife sharpening? Do you do knife sharpening as a company, or you just the sentence just ran into you have your own company? If you are sharpening knives, though, I mean, I'll give you a shout out. Give us a website. We'll go look at it. What is your favorite switchblades? That is a very common. It depends on what you're talking about. I mean, out the front, this is pretty much my only out the front. That is the Boker Mini USB. It looks like a USB stick, but it's an actual OTF. I have a lefty Boker Kalashnikov. Nice little $50, $60 out the side. Great action on it. But I'd say my favorite auto is this one right here, the Italian Stiletto. Boom. Straight up Inox, Italy. Thick. Full-on stiletto design, and you hit that button and pow, it fires out. Tell me that's not great. You get these on Blade HQ right now. They're fantastic though. CRKT, I have some CRKTs. I have some older CRKTs. Where are they? This used to be one of my main carries, the classic. They have so many different versions. The M16. This one here has a double lock on it, so you can flip it out, and then there's this little button right here that you can push up, and that becomes like a secondary lock. So now it's double locked. You can then push that, and then it's got the liner lock. And then this also has like the wave feature, so when it's in your pocket, you can take it out, and when you open it, it automatically deploys. I used to love that knife. I carried that for years. I ended up getting another one in a different version. I used to beat on this one as well. Another M16, but this is just the standard whatever. But this one has a secondary lock that's automatic. So I can't actually make that liner lock work right now. You actually have to push that down. Then you can engage the liner lock to close it. Just a flipper tab only open, but you can definitely use one of these as a nice beater. Yatashiriusu. I hope that's right. Donated $1. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. CRKT, I know I have more. I got this dive knife way back in the day. Never really used it. I lived in California for many years, but that's a full tang. Serrate on one side, sharp on the other side. Got a blunt but pointed tip so you can get in there and pry open like a mussel or an oyster or something like that. Kind of a cool dive knife. Love it in the collection. Never really got to use it. Not a big fan of out the side autos. Love a good OTF though. I regret trading my Microtech. Love the QC Drift. Want a new Zero Blade Play Ultra Techs. Yeah, those look really nice. They're expensive though. A lot of those knives, you're getting quite expensive. They are cool. Oh, excuse me. My buddy's got one of those Microtechs. It's really sweet. Just not really. Everybody's got a slightly different style. I'm definitely more into like beefy style like this. My favorite is the Mini Towser K clutch lock 154 cm. Flicks out really nice. Just slightly beefier. A lot of jumps on there. Gets in there and does some work. But everyone's got their style, their feel. The Militas are definitely hot. Get you a Milita or a mini Milita. These are fantastic. They got good action. They're fun. It just feels good in the hand. It makes good cuts. You can get a D2, a 154, S35 VN, S45, M390 titanium. Every type of style you want. And if you want a fixed blade Milita, they make that too. S35 VN on this one. Excellent fixed blade right there. I tell you what. A knife needs a sheath. Look at how tight that is. No movement, no play. Easily pops out of there. Instant access. Get it done. Get some work. I pulled this one out. Someone asked if I had a carving knife. I do. This is a lefty version. Japanese. For doing some carving. Got a chisel grind on it. I like a little bit of everything around here. Wow, 1 hour and 52 minutes. What is up? Thank you all so much for being so enlightening and fun and just energetic with me. It's fantastic. It's an epic Japanese knife, right? I love it. I also have another, just a classic. This is the Nago Higo no Kami. I think I said that right. I hope I said that right. I'm trying. But this is a friction folder. So you just have that little press, flip it out, and then when you put your thumb on there, that helps keep it open. Brass handle. What's that called? Paper. Blue paper, steel, something. It's an old school classic though. Higo no Kami. I liked your like button so hard it won't return my text. Thank you, Robo Steve. Green apples. That's a cool thumb lock. I've got a few of those now. Here's a classic. This is the Sford Peasant knife. Same kind of deal. It's got that friction folder, so you use that to get her open, and then once you grab hold of that, now the blade is locked out. This is an old school workhorse. Sford Peasant knife. I do have another couple friction folders somewhere around here, of course. My stuff is everywhere. There they are. I picked this one up. Check that little guy out. Little chonker. This is like the, what is this, the Drago? Italian. So same kind of thing. You just push that little out, and once you get your hand on the back there, just a small little 2-finger little worker, right? The little chode. I love it. And then this one, I can't remember. D2. Really cool looking wood handle on there. This would make a fixed blade dream. If I could have a fixed blade just like this feels good in the hand. I love a Warncliffe, but see the problem is when I want to do work like this, it's easily down. You have to hold that, and when I'm doing that, it's not holding. And then when you squeeze tight to use it, it still has a little bit of movement. So this, as cool as it is for a friction folder, this would make a great profile of a fixed blade. What's up? Kaleidoscope of Knives, otherwise known as KOK. I do dig this though. And it was a friction folder, so I was like, I got a couple of those. I want to get a few more, try them out. A little glue would make it a fixed blade. Yeah, I suppose. Or I you know, maybe you could just tighten the pivot down. Just crank the pivot down like mad. Show the Kenman some love. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Fook. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Owen, do I have any fishing knives? We were kind of looking at them before. My favorite fillet is the old school, just a Rapala Superflex. The shorter version. I've had the longer version. I bought a couple of these. For me, being in tight, most of my cuts I make with that tip, and then I get in there and I separate. And so my style, I love one like this. I have a few others. I picked up this other cheapo Rapala. I've never actually used this. I picked it up because it was only like $10. We'll test it out and see how it goes. I did win. Where is it? Last year we had a ice fishing tournament, and whoever got the biggest fish, we had a prize. And so I won this bad boy right here. iChef. Cool looking, really nice handle. My buddy Tommy bought this, and then we showed up for 6 of us to go ice fishing, and he's like, oh, whoever gets biggest fish, we got a prize. Very cool. And so then I won with a walleye. It's like a 27-inch walleye, just an absolute hog. And then I filleted up a couple of walleyes, a couple of bluegills, a bunch of crappies with that knife that night. Fantastic trip. What do I use these knives for? Most of them, exactly what we're doing right now. Looking at them, talking about them, loving them, feeling them, opening them and closing them. I carry a knife. Actually, I carry multiple knives every day. So like a normal daily carry for me, it'd be like, okay, well, yesterday I had the full-size Acacia right there. So I've got kind of a more full-size user knife in my main pocket, and then I'll have a smaller knife, like I'll grab like the mini Corvid or just a smaller, slimmer profile, maybe like the Little Main Street, kind of a more fifth pocket knife. A lot of the fifth pocket knives, I like to take the clip off, and then I just drop it in this little fifth pocket right there. And so I'll always have like 2 knives on me. I started carrying a pry bar. We're going to count the days until I actually use it and need it. Now this pry bar could be used for opening boxes and packages. And if you didn't have a knife or you couldn't carry a knife, that's not sharp, but it's tight enough that if I had a box, I could whoosh, cut that open and get in there with it. It's a titanium pry bar from Arcform. This is the Alt Pry. Arcform's going out of business. They got a big sale going on right now. Check them out if you are interested. But do I use a pry bar? Not really, but you don't want to pry with the tip of your knife. And so there's going to be a case where you might need that and you don't want to use your knife. So I'm doing a countdown. I'm going to count every day until I actually use it. If I carry it for 100 days and I never use it, does that mean I should carry it or not? Or is it one of those things where it's an emergency? When the emergency happens, you should have it. What if I get stuck and pinned in my arm in between a rock and I can't escape and no one knows where I am and I have to chew my arm off? Everybody see that movie? That's a real thing. That guy lived. You can also use the pry bar to peel apples. There you have it. What does that say? Robo. Robo, you are my man. My first 5 were Kershaw Link, M390, Benchmade Bug Out, S90B, Fox Baby Core TR, and M390, Giant Mouse GMF1, And then a Giant Mouse Biblio Arctic Fat Carbon. Preston, got some good taste, got some nice knives. Thank you for subscribing, Cameron Greer and Preston Hunt. Much appreciated. Bad Seeds, main knife is the Benchmade 940. Is that an Osborne? The 940? I'm not good with Benchmades, but is that similar to this? This one's Lanyard Man's. He sent it for just to check it out, to review it. He did the shipwreck on there. I do a lot of shipwrecks if you're interested. What do you have for fixed blade, says John Pletcher. My newest, most favorite one is the new Kaiser Milita fixed. This is the S35VN version. Look at those jimps up on the blade. Jimps in there, jimps on the back. This knife feels great. If it's a little bit big and it's not something for your size, I love the Kubi Quaken. This is fantastic. It is a smaller knife, a little bit slimmer profile. So if you do want to carry a fixed blade, you've got that in there. It's not as much space. It's more delicate, but you can still use it as a fixed blade, get some stuff done. I like it quite a bit. I've got the Kaiser Groom, also very similar, shorter, smaller version. Getting a phone call. Can't answer that yet. Maybe I will in a little bit here. Baltic Blades. This is a neck knife. Pop out, just a smaller little version. That 940 is much better than mine. I have where's that other one? This is the Mini. Definitely has been getting use. Iowa has a point. 948 Hours would be a real crappy movie if DeFranco would have been an EDC guy. Right? He just would have cut himself free and have been done. Baltic Blades are awesome, dude. Baltic Blades are, it's the only one I have. But that, I can't remember what it's called. It's like the name of a snake. Shit. Can't remember. Very cool, though. Sharp and slicey. Okay, well, it's been 2 hours and 2 minutes. I wasn't even planning to go that long. I was looking to do some other stuff, and I didn't even get to that. Thank you all so much for just being so engaging, interacting, having a blast, talking about knives, not even letting me get to the projects I want to work on. So I might go live later tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to try to do it more regularly. I'll be posting content every day. You get a full-length video on either an unboxing or a customization or whatever it may be. Try to do several shorts. I've been doing pocket checks. I do a daily pocket check. I'm on like 500 days in a row, 502 days in a row of daily pocket checks. Tons of customizations and things. So I appreciate everyone. Hit that like button. Check out some videos. Watch some other people's videos and lives. Have a great weekend. We'll probably see you later today, later tomorrow. Have a great weekend, y'all.